I'm going to start with a little party trick here. These are my notes. If you ever are at a loss to create a structure around your presentation, there is one site called Gamma, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a decent presentation. So you just pop it in here, click presentation, click continue, and then preserve. That means that it's going to preserve all your content. And if everything looks good, we continue.
I'm not seeing your screen, Chris.
Are you not seeing the screen?
I see the Shop Management Alliance screen, the slide, but I'm not seeing your screen.
Thank you, Eddie. So you may have to stop. Nick, can you stop your share?
Chris, I would say I have the opposite. I can see exactly what you're doing, so that's kind of bizarre.
That is really weird.
Maybe
At
I
the
should
top of the
log back
screen, you
in.
have tabs. You might have to select the tab because I have Nick's screen and your screen. I can select each one.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Nick, can you stop sharing, please?
Yeah, I should be able to do that. Just 1 second here. Okay, that should be better.
Okay, can everybody see? There's it says create with AI. Can you see that, everybody?
Yes, I see the pink page.
Okay, it's right. It's the pink page. Exactly. So I pasted my outline in presentation, continue. I'm going to preserve the content. There's a lot of settings. I'm not going to get into the details of the settings here. Then you can pick a theme. Where is the theme that I like? Right here. And generate. So it's a little slow. Zoom just eats up system resources. So with 4 different AI programs running in Zoom, it's going to be a little bit delayed, but you can get a feel for it. So this is a presentation. It's generating in real time. It basically will take my entire outline and it puts it into a presentation format with using AI and using illustration tools. So let me just get started here. So, of course, wasting time and money sucks. Last year, we started using AI here at Technician Find, and we've streamlined a lot of our processes, a lot of the work that we do here. And what we've also started doing is helping shops to address their challenges. So today, what I'm going to do is pull back the curtain on AI. I'm going to show you what it's good for and what it sucks at, frankly. AI can do some amazing things, but it doesn't do everything. So what we're going to do is I want to start out by just telling you some of the ways that you have success with AI. So there are some things that you can do with it and some things that you can't just yet. So one of the things is you want to definitely make sure that you're using multiple AI tools to solve big problems. There are certain things that, here's a perfect example. So one of the things that happens is sometimes you need to go in and do some editing because it's not always perfect. See, it's got the layout really cool, but it doesn't take everything that I wanted and put it in the order that I wanted. So this is a great example of what it can do well and what it has some trouble with. So let me go over here to my outline and I'll show you what it's really supposed to look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to use AI to solve 3 big problems today. And if we can get into more, we'll get in more if we have time. Number 1 is marketing and customer acquisition. So I'm going to show you how to use it for customer acquisition. I'm also going to show you how to develop a mission, vision, and value statement. It still surprises me how many shops don't have mission, vision, and value statements. A few do, but most of the shops we work with do not. So I created a custom GPT that allows you to get one done very, very quickly. And then I'm also going to show you how to attract and retain technicians and service advisors. Specifically, I want to get into how you can troubleshoot your ads to make sure that your ads are very effective. And then also show you some things that you can do in terms of presenting offers, creating offers quickly, and then also just asking questions. If you have specific questions for a technician, then you can just ask those into ChatGPT, and it will provide some feedback for you. So first, let me give you some tips on working with AI. First of all, you should treat AI like a smart but confused intern. AI can do just about anything you want it to do, but it gets confused. So you have to be very specific in your directions, and you have to give it oversight. You can't just plug things in and just expect it to give you a perfect result back. The second thing is you really want to make sure that you're double checking all of your output. Sometimes AI just plain makes stuff up. It'll just make stuff up. And I don't know if you heard about the attorney. There was an attorney, I think he's in New York, used ChatGPT to create a legal brief. And about 3 or 4 of the cases that were cited in his legal brief were non-existent. They didn't exist. So he got in a lot of trouble. He got censured, almost got disbarred because he didn't double check his work. He just submitted it as is. So you can't do that. The next thing is expect that if you have your instructions prompts structured correctly, your output is generally about 80% of where you need it to be. You can just plan on small edits to what you're doing. And then garbage in, garbage out. You can't count on AI to do everything for you without uploading knowledge documents. I'm going to show you about knowledge documents today and how we use them. And a perfect example of this is if you've ever used ChatGPT to create an ad for a technician for you, the ad will look beautiful. But the problem is it probably won't work because what ChatGPT does, if you don't give it specific knowledge documents to go by, what it'll do is it'll go out online and it'll look at best practices. And what best practices are, is it's what everybody else is doing. And if your ads look like everybody else's ads, you're going to get the results that everybody else is getting. So if you don't know what a good ad looks like, and you don't know what an ad that generates applications looks like, you may be fooled because it looks grammatically correct. The formatting may look great, and it may look like a pretty decent ad, but it's not going to work because it's not unique the way it needs to be unique. So that's one of the ways that AI can fool you if you really don't know what you're doing. And then just buy the pro version of whatever AI tools you're working with. It's like $20 a month for most of these. And when you start using them, you're going to burn through your credits really quickly, and you just want to have it because it's a lot easier to do what you need to do if you just have the pro version. And then just like in your shop, there are different tools for different tasks. So you may need several once you dive into this. Like I say, we use about a dozen AI tools, and you're going to see today how I flip back and forth between them because certain tools do a lot better at certain things, and then other tools do better for other things. So with that, just by show of hands, how many of you would agree with this statement? I know there are quality customers out there who value good work and will pay fair prices, but reaching them consistently is a challenge. We get a lot of price shoppers and one-time customers, when what I really want is long-term relationships with people who understand the value of maintaining their vehicles properly. My current marketing feels scattered. Some online ads here, maybe a mailer there, but I need a systematic way to attract the right kind of customers who appreciate quality work and will become advocates for our shop. Anybody resonate with this statement? Anybody not resonate with the statement?
No.
And then this, or how about this one? I know I need to be on social media, but honestly, I'm swamped running the shop. Finding time to create engaging posts, responding to comments, and keeping up with all the platforms is overwhelming. When I do post something, it feels forced, and I'm never sure what's actually, sorry about that. Let me turn my phone off. So I'm never sure if it's actually reaching potential customers or just disappearing into the void. I want to showcase our expertise and build trust, but I'm a mechanic, not a content creator. These are 2 big problems that we're going to solve with this next exercise. And Brian, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do here for Brian is, Brian, why don't you just introduce yourself and your shop name?
So I'm Brian Nerger, Nerger's Auto Express in central New Jersey.
Awesome. So Brian, what we're going to do for you is we're going to build an ideal customer profile. And then I'm going to show you how we use it afterwards. I'm going to demo it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I actually, there are several ways that you can do this online. We're going to build this profile using a tool that I got from a class I took from a world-class copywriter. His name is Ray Edwards, and we're going to develop an ideal client profile. If you're not familiar with the ideal client profile, marketers have used these for decades. What they do is they actually build the ideal customer so that they can run all of their marketing and all of their communications through this ideal customer, and it helps them to generate better content. We're going to do that for Brian right now. We want to find out exactly what he is looking for in a customer. So Brian, we talked last week. You've given some thought to what an ideal customer looks like for you. Tell me a little bit about this ideal customer.
So they're definitely over 40 years old, 140,000 a year or more as far as household income.
Okay, let me input this as we go. So slow down just a little bit. So I'm going to do this. My ideal person client is a 40-year-old. Okay.
140,000 plus household income.
Okay.
They have multiple cars.
Okay.
They do a lot of driving.
Okay.
They value, trying to think how to word this. They value their time more than the money. They're busy, either picking kids up, running people around, helping other people. They drive high mileage vehicles and love their cars. They trust us to do what's best for their cars. And they want to get the most amount of miles with the least amount of problems. And then there's the whole fleet concept too, but I'm not going to go into that right now.
Yeah, fleet would be a different avatar. So we did a fleet manager for Eddie Lawrence, who's on the call, and that's a completely different individual. So we would do that separately.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that you'd like to say about this individual? Are we good?
Yes.
It's a good start.
We do love customers that have emergencies or like breakdowns and things like that. I don't know if that should be in there or not.
So we help them with emergencies and regular repair and maintenance. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Sounds great.
Fantastic. All right. So let's delete all the stuff that's not about you. Okay. For all the following questions, remember the facts. First, what are my ideal person's beliefs, rules for life, and values? What is their life meaning? What gives their life meaning? What do they dream of being or accomplishing someday? Be as detailed, specific, and clear as possible. So let's let Claude, and I do need to tell you, we're using Claude right now. Claude is a different AI platform. I found, and many other people have found, that Claude does better with writing tasks. So if you're looking to get a writing task that's not as stilted as a ChatGPT and is more human and realistic, Claude does a better job with that. So I took this information and you can see what the input is. Core beliefs and rules for life. They strongly believe in taking care of their responsibilities and doing things the right way the first time. They live by the principle that preventive care in all aspects of life saves time and money in the long run. They believe in building long-term relationships with trusted professionals rather than constantly shopping around. They value expertise and are willing to pay for quality service that gives them peace of mind. They believe in balancing work and family life. They hold the conviction that their reputation and reliability matter deeply in both personal and professional life. Does that sound like it resonates with you, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to bore you with all of it, but we get really, really detailed on what this individual looks like. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into a Google Doc for Brian. And it's thinking. There we go. So once we paste it into the Google Doc, we're going to go back over and we're going to get the next piece. So next, I want what are my person's biggest problems? So we want to know what their big problems are because we're all in the business of solving problems, right? So let's find out what their biggest problems are. Let's drop that into Claude and let's let it go. So we're going to do a deep dive into anxieties and frustrations. And if you can read it that fast, kudos to you. You took a speed reading class sometime in your past. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but because I want to get to the demo and I want to show you how this works. So what it does is it gives us all of the areas of anxiety. And we paste that into our document. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to dig really deep into the pain caused by the problem that we were just discussing. We want to go really deep into this because when you get really deep into these pains and the frustrations, then you can speak to those pains and frustrations in your marketing. You can speak to those pains and frustrations in the services that you provide. You can do a lot of things with that because now you're speaking their language and you can get their attention that way. Daily emotional experience, quality of life impact, long-term impacts, how they would describe it themselves. It's like this constant weight on my shoulders. I feel like I'm failing at everything because I can't even get reliable transportation right. It will even give you these quotes that your ideal client could be thought to have said. And we gather all this data and copy it, and we put it into Brian's document. See, you can see the pattern here. Next, we're going to describe the results of not solving the problem if they don't do anything about it. This is about amplifying the pain, which is a copywriting technique. And you can see how fast it generates this information. 3-year impact if they don't deal with it, 5-year impact if they don't deal with it, 10-year impact.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's just generating all this on demand. And we're going to gather all this data.
Growing tension in their marriage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everything. It's all of the life impacts. I mean, this also shows you what an amazing service you're providing for people because you're addressing all of these major things that impact their life.
Mm.
Next, what does the dream future look like? So we've dialed up the pain. These are all the things that they're experiencing in terms of pain. What does an ideal future look like? All right. Let's drop this into your document, Brian. Okay, the next one is, if my present client who still has these problems we've been discussing were to discover a solution, guess what? Brian did the rescue with a solution, what would that solution look like? And it will tell us. Perfect automotive car care solution. The experience they dream about. How they would describe it. The relationship that they want with you.
Wow.
And we'll drop that in. Next, let's assume that I've created the exact product my person needs to solve their problems. What does that look like? Let's get Claude to chew on that. So it gives us a testimonial. I used to live in constant anxiety about my car. It gives you their heartfelt testimonial of how they found you and how they got their problems solved. Finally, give me an imaginary representation of my perfect right fit avatar. So it's going to create a human being. Let's give this person a name and create a real human. Sarah Mitchell. She's 42. She earns 125K. Household income is 165. Her husband's named Mark. She manages a team of 8 sales representatives, drives 25,000 plus miles to work annually, works a hybrid schedule. Here's her family, 2 children, lives in a 4-bedroom home. Let's see. I'm going to do one thing here for you, Brian. I'm going to have Sarah live in your city. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Sarah's information and I'm going to put all of this into your document. So here's that. And I'm going to put this in here too. Okay. Now we're going to do the last section here. So this section is the customer journey. So this is the buyer's journey. So the reason why we want to have the buyer's journey is it tells us there are different situations that happen before someone actually comes and becomes a customer of your shop. One is they have to be aware that there's a problem. So they may be going along and there's no problems. One is they're aware of the problem. The next is they're aware that they need to find the solution. And then they start looking online and then they find your shop and then they go through a process of vetting you, whether it's looking at reviews or asking friends or whatever else. What we want to do is we want to outline that process because there are different types of marketing that you use at each stage of this of the process. So we want to understand what Sarah's thought process would be along this buyer's journey. So here's our customer journey. We're going to copy your customer journey and we're going to paste it into your document, Brian. Okay. And then from there, what we're going to do is we are going to, I am going to make this into a download. So we're going to download it into a Word doc. And then we're going to pop over to We're going to pop over to ChatGPT, and we're going to create a GPT for you. So I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of ChatGPT. We use ChatGPT because ChatGPT allows us to make custom GPTs that are very easy to share. And here's the way that you do that. So we're going to do avatar name. Her name is Sarah. And what was Sarah's last name? Where are you, Sarah? You can see how much information it generates. It's really ridiculous. Where is, oh, you know what? Let's do it this way. Sarah Mitchell. Take some of these details out. Okay, so we need to make sure that we have all of the appropriate information in here. And we need to tell it what to do. We want to give it very specific instructions because we don't want it going out online and searching for just random people named Sarah and giving us details about them. We want it to use the knowledge document that we're about to upload here. So okay. So we're going to take all that data and then we're going to upload the knowledge documents. So we're going to upload the file from downloads. This is the ideal customer. And we don't need Canvas, but we are going to use web search. So you can search the web, but I specifically told it in the prompt here that we want to start with the knowledge document and we want to use the answers from the knowledge document. And then DALL-E is for image generation. I'll show you how that works. So we're going to create this, save it. All right, and we're going to go out of here. And then what we want to do is we're going to ask Sarah to generate an image of herself so we know what she looks like. And sometimes they get sassy.
Now I'm getting scared, Chris.
Never forget, it's just a
I don't
computer.
know where this is going to go to.
Yeah, just
Might be my neighbor, you know, might look like
maybe. So let's view the GPT. So this will look different on my computer than yours because I'm running something called AI PRM. It's an add-on. Your chat GPT will look a little bit different.
Yeah, this is a chat GPT.
So we generate a picture of Sarah. So we have a picture to go along with the avatar. And there's Sarah.
Should we have a picture of you and me and Sean? GPT. Chat GPT.
Yeah, that's the shit.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Sarah. So what do we do with this? So here we go. We've got this GPT, and it is live, and it's ready for us to use it. How do you use it? Well, here's what you do. So what about this? I'm thinking writing a blog post for my auto repair business website. Please give me 3 ideas on automotive topics that would interest you, and please elaborate on why. So you can get content ideas. So your team can get ideas, or whoever's managing your website, you can get ideas for content. And you can ask Sarah what she would think is interesting. Here are 3 blog post ideas tailored to your ideal client, Sarah Mitchell, a busy professional and parent who values reliability, efficiency, and trust in her automotive service provider. So here's a title: Preventive Car Maintenance, the secret to avoiding costly repairs and saving time. And it'll tell you why this matters to Sarah. How to choose a reliable auto repair shop and avoid the common pitfalls. Boom. Why does this matter to Sarah? Busy Parent's Guide to Keeping Your Car Reliable During the Harsh New Jersey Winter. That would be a great blog post. These are all blog posts that you can create based upon what would be interesting to Sarah. What else can you do? Ah, perfect. Now I want to promote this blog post on Facebook. Can you create the ad text for a compelling social media ad that will interest people like you in my area? So let's ask this question. So if you ever have that question, oh, what should we be posting? You can ask Sarah, what should I be posting? Preventive car maintenance, the secret to avoiding costly repairs and saving time. And here's your post. Sometimes these are emoji heavy. I take some of the emojis out of there, but it's got all the data that you need. You can just copy and paste this right into Facebook. What's another thing that you can do? So if you wanted to retarget readers of the blog post on Facebook and bring them in with an offer, what should I offer? Please provide 5 options that would appeal to you. So what would you offer Sarah to come in and try you out? Free multi-point inspection with any service. Even tells you how to frame it. Get a free multi-point inspection with any oil change or service. Our ASC certified techs will check your brakes, battery, tires, and more so you can drive with confidence. Limited time offer. Here's another one, $25 off your first service. Here's another one, free loaner car. Buy 3 oil changes, get 1 free. Maintenance plan offer. So here's a bunch of different ideas that you can use, and you can generate as many ideas as you want. Run them all through Sarah. She'll tell you what she likes and why she likes it.
Have any idea when you propose, or you would like the car? I assume they take
Hey,
a year.
Nick, can you mute
Yeah.
folks on there? Okay. And let me get one more, and then we'll move on.
It's not a big problem right now. Business has been kind of slow because of the weather. I mean,
Hey, Alan, mute your microphone there, please.
Thanks, Sean. Okay, and then I'm thinking about creating a new service especially for you. What would you like to see? It should focus on convenience, reliability, and proactive care. 5 new service ideas that would appeal to your ideal client: VIP auto care membership, worry-free car maintenance plan, concierge car service, pickup service, and drop-off. Boom, it tells you why it works. It tells you how it works. It tells you even how to market it. So here's all the details. So basically, you can run everything through and generate a bunch of ideas for whatever you are working on. Any questions on this one before we move on? You see how that works? I've got some more questions, but I'm going to skip on those. You can even ask things like, what frustrates you the most about auto repair? Please give me one YouTube video idea for each of your frustrations that demonstrates that I'm an expert at solving this problem and you can trust us. There's just, the opportunities are endless. You can just keep creating content that's specifically relevant to your ideal client. And then you can even create images. All right on the platform. And
Chris, do they use this for like the telemarketing? Like they have like computer generated telemarketing? Is that how they do
for the phone calls, the people that call you?
Yeah, like you think you're talking to a human and you're not. So do they do something like this and then they just audio it?
Sometimes what they do is the computer will call you, and then when they get you connected, they'll connect you with a human. And a lot of times what they're doing now is they're trying to sell these as automated attendants. That's what they're going. A lot of companies are selling this and saying, hey, look, you don't have to have somebody answer your phones. Let's just have this chat bot answer your phones and direct people where they need to go. And then we'll program it with a bunch of just stock answers so that you don't have to have somebody answer your phones. So they're trying to do that now too. I have found that that doesn't work as well. Whenever I have a question and I reach out to customer service, my questions aren't like, what are your hours? Or, stupid stuff like that. I mean, I usually have pretty involved questions, and chatbots can never answer the questions for me. So I'm always frustrated when I get a chatbot.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're trying to sell those to business owners as, hey, look, you don't have to have anybody answer your phones anymore. That being said, they're getting better and better. I mean, every day they're getting better and better. So eventually they're going to be able to do that. But this is one piece. So I want to get into a couple more things here. I'm going to skip over mission, vision, and actually, you know what? I'm not going to do an example of mission, vision, and values, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it works. So, and then I'll circle back around because I want to get to the technicians, because I'm sure everybody has questions about how you use this for technicians. So this is the technician find community. If you click on classroom and then you come down to Shop Owners AI Toolbox, you click on that. Here are all of the custom GPTs that I've created so far. And you can get in here, you can play around with them. It's all free. You can come in here. You need to request access from me because I don't want just anybody, screwing around in here. You got to actually work for a legitimate shop to get in here, but it's all free. So let me know if you want to get in here and try any of these out, and I'll get you access, but you have to be a member of the community. It's all free again. But I really would like some feedback on what you think of these. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you the Shop Mission and Vision and Values Creator. This will generate a powerful mission, vision, and value statement. You click on this, it takes you right into ChatGPT. And then you click here to begin, and you submit. And we'll ask you serious questions. So it'll ask you all the shop details. your customer profile, problems you solve for your customers, what makes your shop different, company values and future goals, success metrics, and then it'll create one for you. So let's just have it generate a hypothetical one for us. So this is what the output would look like. So the vision, core values, key characteristics of successful team members, critical daily actions for success. Here's your story pitch. Most people don't know much about their car, but they do know that life gets stressful when it breaks down. It just gives you a little story to tell about people and why it is that you do what you do. It gives you the shop theme. So in one sentence, honest repairs, reliable service, peace of mind, customer value proposition. So the value you add for your customers, and key success metrics. So based upon what you input in the beginning, it'll give you just an outline of the key success metrics as well. And if you're clever, you probably figured out you can just grab this and you can just pop it into Gamma or something like that and have it make it a really nice presentable presentation or just a nice presentable document. And you've got it covered. So I've noticed that was something over and over again. A lot of shops, they know they should have this in place, but they just didn't want to take the time to sit down and figure it out. So you can do this in 15 minutes easily. Okay, let me show you another one. So I really want to get to the demo on the automotive technician avatar. So what I did is I created an automotive technician avatar. His name is Jason Perkins. That's Jason. And what I did was I basically uploaded snippets of all my conversations. I've taken notes over the last 7 years. I've talked to hundreds of techs. And I just take notes. Every time I hear something that's interesting, every time I hear something that technicians like, that they don't like, that frustrates them in a shop, that frustrates them in an ad, all these things, I've just been taking notes because I wanted to really understand techs because I want to get them matched up with the right shops. So what I've done is I've trained this GPT on all the information that I've come up with. And I also ran a customer avatar exercise like I just did with Brian. And that's all uploaded into this custom GPT. So when you come down to the custom GPT link, it takes you right in to our automotive technician avatar. And you can do some cool stuff with this automotive technician avatar. So what I did, and I'm going to pick on a dealer here. So if anybody on this call is from a dealership, my apologies in advance, because here we go. So what I did is I went out and I put automotive technician. I did a search for automotive technician on Indeed in Oceanside, California. And I grabbed the very first ad that came up, and it was a perfect ad to grab. It was what you typically see from a dealer. It gives you the job description, and it immediately starts talking about what the technician needs to have. Duties, these are the things that you're going to do. Qualifications, these are the things you need to have. Education, you need to have this education. You need to have this technological aptitude. You need to have these language and communication skills. You need to have these mathematical skills. You need to have this reasoning ability. You have to have these certificates, licenses, and registrations. It's like everything that we want and nothing that the technician wants. It's like the exact 180-degree opposite of what we talk about at Technician Find in the way that we write our ads. But anyway, it gives us a perfect example of what we can do to make it better. So let's ask Jason. Hey, Jason. So I'm going to ask Jason, hey, how can I make this ad better? And be specific. Let's see what Jason has to say. So first thing is hook the right technicians immediately. Your ad starts with, we are growing and in search of experienced technicians to join our team. This is generic and doesn't immediately capture attention. The fix is you craft a strong, engaging opening statement that speaks directly what technicians want. That's what we do. Boom. Highlight what makes your shop different. There's no clear emphasis on why your shop is a better place to work than other dealerships. Boom. Gives you examples on how to do that. Techs don't want a list of duties. Gosh, couldn't have said it better myself. They already know how to fix cars. They want to know what's in it for them. This section helps your ad stand out. Show that you understand their pain points. Make your call to action stronger. Use a catchy headline to get clicks. Final thoughts. So these are the tweaks. And then at the very end, would you like me to rewrite the entire ad with these improvements? Let me know. So you can click on it. You can have it rewrite your ad and include all those improvements. And then you'll have an ad that's better than at least 80% of the ads that you see out there. And you just plug in your ad. Any questions on this?
Thanks for showing us how to do that.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
There's a lot of stuff in here. So, everybody, you can jump in here. You can play around with these. And they are all, I'd love to get your feedback on this. I'd also like to get your feedback on what you would like to see me create in here, what you're having problems with. So I know, Greg, you've been playing around with the story writer. And I think you've been having some success with that. Are you still using that? He might have dropped off the call. We've got the press release generator. So this will ask you a few questions. You can generate a press release about your shop. I know, Rob, you were playing around with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Mini travel brochure. One of the things that we found is that if you're looking for help outside of the local area, it helps to have a little mini travel brochure. Just a few sentences and bullet points about what it's like to live in your city, directed towards technicians. Hey, why would a technician like to live in your city? You put that right in the ad, and now you say, hey, look, we'll offer you relocation assistance, and this is what this city has to offer. It makes it more compelling for the technician to click and to apply. The personal note from shop owners. I know, Eddie, you're the one that we talked about this with. You actually gave me this idea. It's worked really well for your ads, just putting a personal little note. I created a GPT so that it helps you create that note. You just input some of your experience and some of your beliefs about how you treat your employees, and it'll generate this note for you so that you can put that short little paragraph into your ads. And then we've got a service advisor avatar. Same thing we just did for the tech, you can do for your service advisor. Got a negative review response generator. When you click on this, you go in, you take copy and paste your negative review that you got. You copy that, paste it into ChatGPT, and then it'll ask you some questions about your shop, and then it'll ask you for your side of the story. So if you interview the advisor, you interview the tech, you look back through your notes and through your invoices and whatever, and you just input whatever information you have on your side of the story. It'll generate a very professional, very polite response for you to any negative reviews. And we also have an employment offer. This is an offer generator, asks you a series of questions, and then it will generate an offer. You can also use this for other questions like, here's a question I just got the other day. My technician just got a job offer from a competing shop. He's going to be making $2 more per hour. What can I tell him to get him to stay? So there are two GPTs we can use. We can either use, we can use Jason Perkins. We can use the automotive technician avatar. Let's ask Jason what he thinks. or we can use the offer generator. So it tells us to keep your technician, you need to address more than just money, and acknowledge and validate his decision. It'll walk you through the whole process. Dig deeper, what really motivated him to look. Remind him of the bigger picture. Make a counteroffer. Give him time to think. Yeah. And so it gives you a whole list of actions and things to think about. Some of them are pretty, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, there's no revelations there, but some of them are pretty good. I think the only one that is really missing here is just to stay in touch. I would definitely recommend staying in touch. Okay, any other questions? If not, I'll show you something else.
I have one. If
Yeah,
we want to
Rob,
build
go ahead.
our own, if we want to build our own ideal client, is that checklist in there, or is that proprietary for what you use?
It's proprietary, but it's not my proprietary. It's Ray Edwards' proprietary, frankly. And I paid the guy some money to go through the class.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Ideal client profiles, if you Google ideal client profile, or if you do something else, which I'm going to show you right now, the process for going through it's freely available. It's readily
There we go.
available. Yeah. Perry Belcher has one. There's a lot of people that have them, so you can build them yourself very easily. I would recommend that you take a look at this website. It's called Perplexity, and just ask it.
Great. It was pretty obvious. It was too easy to be, oh yeah, public information everywhere is too good.
Yeah, well, the thing about Ray's and why I like Ray's is he's a professional copywriter. He's like a world-renowned professional copywriter that's worked with some of the biggest companies in the world, and he's done this for years and years. So he really understands what it takes to drill down into that, and really get the nitty-gritty. And eventually what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up creating my own anyway, because I like it so much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get in and really pull it apart and tweak it with the things that I like and make my own. So, I'll definitely let you know when I do that. But this is a great way to do it, though.
Thank you. That really is the hint I'm looking for. To go to a couple of websites and kind of just look for the prompts.
Well, Perplexity will do it for you. So Perplexity, if you haven't seen Perplexity, it's like a search engine that's AI assisted. So what it does is Google just gives you a bunch of search results. Perplexity will aggregate the search results and package it and give you the answers. It doesn't give you a bunch of websites to go look at. It gives you, well, it gives you that, but it also gives you the answer. So it says, hey, look, here's the answer. And then it tells you all the core components, demographic features. And then if I said, I would like prompts for creating my own in ChatGPT. Let's see what it says. Yeah, see, there's a million of them. Here's a video, a YouTube video. Here's actual prompts. I mean, this will get you, pretty darn close. And then Perplexity does also other cool things. I've used Perplexity to find fleet managers in an area. You can say, hey, I'm looking for fleet managers in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Perplexity will go out and do a search for you. It can do other cool things like this.
You spelled my name wrong.
So this is kind of cool. Normally it's a lot faster, but I'm running a lot of heavy duty stuff right now, so it takes a little bit of time to process. You know what? When I tested this, it gave me a better result. Hang on a second. And again, the prompts, it really, when you get a prompt that's really dialed in, you get a completely different answer than with a prompt that is not dialed in. There it is. Much better. So here's what I found out. Sean enjoys several outdoor activities, including snowmobiling, bowling, playing darts, four-wheeling in his Jeep, quad riding. Someone who owns multiple successful automotive businesses, Sean would likely appreciate Hero on a Mission by Donald Miller, professional development materials related to leadership and team building. He's passionate about developing others. Personal touch, personalized item featuring his business logos. So it gives you all this stuff. And it even has his picture over here. So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's gathering data from everywhere. It's gathering data from social media profiles, LinkedIn, probably his website, all these different things. And it's assembled, pretty decent, assemblage of things that would be helpful. So Perplexity is kind of cool. All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. I don't hear anybody say anything. Hopefully you got something out of this. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll wait around if you do have questions, and happy to answer them for you. But definitely get in here and play around in the school community. You've got access to all this stuff. Please get in here, play around with it, give me your feedback. And I'll give you links to everything. And we're going to have a recording. And I'm going to bribe you. I'm going to have a really short questionnaire, maybe 5 or 6 questions, just so I can get some feedback on the presentation, and then I'll get you the link, and then also these all these resources. I'll get you Perplexity, Gamma, ChatGPT, Claude. I'll get you links to all those, and then we can also make sure that you're set up in the Technician Find community so you can get access to all these things too.
Thanks, Chris. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing my screen then.
Thanks,
There's
Chris.
no questions on that. Yeah, thanks for being here.
Much.
Take care. Good to see you, Jerry. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Chris. What do you know about this DeepSeek stuff? I know that was like a big waves in the AI world.
That's a new project for me to dive into. Yeah, it's very interesting, and it definitely disrupted everything. I don't know if it works as well as they say it does. I have to get in and test it. And I just haven't had a chance to do it. But if it does, whew, it's going to really disrupt a lot of things because you can just run it on your own computer, and we're not going to have all these $20 a month fees that I've got now for all these different platforms. So again,
Yeah, no, that's cool.
yeah, it's going to be the same deal though. You've got to double check all the output. And is it going to be loaded with Chinese propaganda? I don't know. Probably. ChatGPT and Claude are loaded with propaganda. I mean, if you ask political questions on ChatGPT, you find out really quickly the bias that the engineers had when they set it up. There's always going to be bias in AI because the software engineers that create it have biases. So as long as you stay as objective as possible, I don't ask it questions like that. And I also don't ask it life questions. I don't say, should I marry Sally or should I, yeah, you set yourself up for a problem if you do things like that. If you
Only
give
if
it,
you listen to it.
only if you listen to it, yeah. But it's really cool for lots of other things. I mean, it's cool to run you through business problems. Hey, look, I'm having this problem with my business. Ask me 10 questions that will help you to help me solve it. Tell it who you want it to be. You're a world-class business expert, and I need you to help me solve this specific business problem. Ask me 10 questions that will allow you to give me competent answers. And it'll be great. But if you ask it something completely open-ended and you don't have an idea of the answer, it can lead you wrong.
Chris, I apologize. I missed the tail end there. But after you worked on my fleet avatar, Marcus,
Yep.
Marcus Aurelius,
Marcus Aurelius, yeah.
I went ahead and I wanted to see what the forecast looked like for the heavy duty fleet service market in 2025.
Yeah.
And so I jumped on Claude and I started diving in with that question. And
Cool.
I ended up getting a several page report.
Oh, nice.
And the first one, talked a lot about EV trucks and all that. And I'm like, well, let me be more specific. Like you said, you got to tell it what you need. You got to feed it information, right? And so each time it came back with for me to respond, I just did that next question, that deeper dive.
Perfect.
And then I got into the mobile aspect of it. And I got into the mobile side of the fleet maintenance and its analysis for the forecast for 2025, because the industry was down, on the trucking side for 2024. So I got a nice little industry forecast on that and wanted to share that with you. So
that's super cool. That's super cool. And you can also upload that to your avatar too. If you want to upload that document to your avatar so that's part of the knowledge document, that would be powerful as well.
Is there any way you'd be able to share that information with what you found? I'd just be interested in reading it.
Okay. I'll hit you up and yeah.
Great.
Do you know each other? Stephanie, do you know Eddie?
No.
Okay, I'll connect you two.
Hello.
Question, Chris. We have a Cloud AI and we have Chat GPT. And you seem to favor Cloud AI. What are the strong points with Cloud versus Chat GPT? What should be used for what?
I use Claude for writing tasks. So if I'm writing a blog post, if I'm writing an ad for a technician, if I'm doing any type of writing task, I like to use Claude. There are many different versions, but I use Claude Opus. That's the best for writing tasks. If you use ChatGPT, then it's just not as human. It'll do a lot of things like there's a lot of jokes and memes going around about how you can always tell if something's written in AI because they use certain phrases over and over again. If I write things for the automotive industry on ChatGPT, I get a lot of cutesy analogies like, rev up your sales and stop spinning wrenches, and to say things like that just don't really, it thinks it's being clever, but it just doesn't really resonate. And so I like to use Claude because it works better for that. ChatGPT, I like to use ChatGPT for the custom GPTs because it's easy to share the links. So the way that I have it in the school community, I just pop the links in there and you can go in there, and most people are familiar with ChatGPT. They have a ChatGPT account. So if I'm sharing links for shop owners to GPTs, it just works better for ChatGPT. If you do calculations, they say that Claude works well on calculations. I like working with ChatGPT on calculations. I strip out all the personally identifiable information, but I do P&L analysis on ChatGPT with my P&L. And it does an amazing job. It can identify trends. It gives me ideas. I'm going to do an expense analysis. So we talked a few weeks back on the call about doing an expense analysis. I'm going to run an expense analysis next month using ChatGPT and see how that comes out. So I'm just going to input my statements, my credit card statement, and I'm going to see what it comes back with in terms of analysis. So there's a lot of good things you can do there.
Awesome. What do you do? Copy and paste it or scan it in off of the screen?
You could drop in a PDF if you really want to. I wouldn't do that because it's going to have all your info on it. But you can upload to Claude or to ChatGPT. You can just upload a PDF.
I found the ChatGPT on image creation. It's a bit bulky or difficult to use. You ask it to change one thing, it changes everything, and you work back and forth. It's yeah.
It is. It's handy because it's there if you're there. But if you're going to really get into images, you want to use Midjourney. If you really want to get into, Midjourney does an amazing job with images, and you can change text. That's the other thing with ChatGPT is their text is all wonky and the letters are backwards and all jacked up.
Especially if you have it modified a few times, the text will be changed. So that's a bit frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Midjourney will do a much better job for you.
Okay.
The interface is a little cumbersome because you have to go through the Discord server, but the output it's much, much better.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
So like you suggested, Chris, when you have your avatar created and you want to combine information like a market analysis or forecast, would that be easier to combine them, copy and paste like you were doing today, or upload the PDF of the data? Which do you recommend?
I just upload the PDF of the data. I just got the 2024 IBIS industry data for the automotive industry, and it's like 300-page document PDF, and I just uploaded the whole darn thing, because I'm going to do research with it. You don't. I'm real careful right now not to breach copyright laws because you can already see that that's coming out now. So people are fighting against each other, and there was that kid that was going to blow the whistle on OpenAI because he said they're training their models on copyrighted data and all that. That's going to be, there's going to be a lot of litigation here in the coming years about who stole what from whom, and I don't want to be, kind of part of any of that. So a lot of what I do when I start uploading things is it's all proprietary stuff. So it's like if me and my team need the data to do something with, I'll upload it, but I wouldn't buy, well, I don't know, I guess you could. It would depend on the terms of use, but I wouldn't grab something that's private and then upload it into a custom GPT and then share that publicly or sell it publicly. You have to be careful about that. But you're just using all this proprietary. It's for you and your sales manager. There's no problem with that. I would just upload it all. Because anytime you upload data into the knowledge base, it focuses the scope of your search. So when I first started using this, I avoided it for a long time, but then I said, hey, I wonder if this can write a decent ad. And I did exactly what I talked about on the presentation. I said, I want an ad for an automotive technician. Here's the shop details. Write me an ad. And it gave me an ad that looked like the Jaguar ad that I just that I just ran in the demo. And I was like, this is jacked up, you know. It's like what it did was it went out onto the internet. It found all these examples of what a official ad should look like, and then it put it into that format. And if you are going to be asking ChatGPT, hey, what would a fleet manager be interested in? You kind of want to put some guide rails on it because it might be out there looking at, you know, fleet managers in Africa or fleet managers in Europe, or I mean, there's all these other things that may be happening there that may give you results that aren't as applicable as you need them to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So Chris, how did you, when it produces ad that looks like a Jaguar ad, how did you dial things in to be more to what you wanted? What kind of
I trained it.
How do you train it?
So my technician avatar is trained with, I think is trained with 100 different ads. So I took my top 100 ads that have generated the most applications and that have gotten the best results. And so that's part of the knowledge base. My avatar is part of the knowledge base. A list of all the questions that I've asked technicians over the years. That's all part of my knowledge base. Things I've heard technicians say about what they like in a shop, what they don't like in a shop. All that is part of the knowledge base. It's real world stuff. It's not, you know, generic, you know, Googled stuff that guesses what a technician may say based upon what they do for a living. This is real stuff that I've heard technicians say to me. So I think that's the difference. And I also know, I know if I did a ChatGPT search and I asked ChatGPT, hey, what does a tech want in a shop? And ChatGPT will come back with a bunch of stuff that they say a tech wants. And I'll go, no, not so much, not so much, not so much. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I know because I've talked to so many techs, ChatGPT is guessing based upon all the stuff that they've grabbed offline. And so much stuff online is just generic BS. Yeah. So you've got bots that are writing articles now. You've got, you know, people in foreign countries that are writing articles now. You've got, you know, high school kids that are writing articles on blog posts. How does ChatGPT know what's real and what's not real? It's everybody's opinion here and there. So I try to put it on rails as much as possible so that I know this is real world. This is reality. This is what's going on. And I say, yeah, you can go out and reach out to the internet to get certain details, but follow my format and my structure, because I know my format and my structure works. So that's how I trained the GPT, on my format and my structure, so that it's not just grabbing, hey, you need to have all these certifications and you need to do all this, and you need to have all this education, you know, da 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 da.
So you're kind of guiding and controlling it so it kind of zooms in on what you're looking for.
Yeah, you just what AI does really well is it does really well at gathering information and organizing it. But the problem is it doesn't know what information you need.
Do you
if
need
that
to
makes
tell
sense?
Yeah, you need to tell it where to look, essentially. You need to give some guidelines. That's not what I want. This is what I want.
Exactly.
And if we look at the right places for more information about that, huh?
Yep.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. It's like a good attorney. A good attorney, they don't ask a question they don't know the answer to.
Right.
You know, you never want to go off into the weeds asking questions that you don't know answers to, because then you get yourself in trouble, because then you get an answer that you don't want, that doesn't support your case, and then you're screwed. So you always want to have a general idea of where you want to end up. And then from there, you can structure your prompts in a way that gets you to where you need to be.
What I learned just from what you walked me through with my avatar, Chris, with the fleet manager, and then playing with it a little bit after our call, is when you say prompts, it's literally, it's not like Google where you're asking Google questions.
Mm-mm.
Prompts are me telling it what data I need next.
Exactly.
Right. And so the prompts, that's how we started narrowing it down and steering away from the EV trucks, you know, because that's not my market and that's not, you know, relevant to me now. So I steered it with my prompts, telling it, okay, well, let's check this. So it's telling it, you're telling it what information you need. You're not asking. You're telling it, I need this and this and this. So it's a different mindset from Google, because Google's always asking, how do I do this? Or where is this place?
Exactly.
And then a combination of that, and then uploading your data in a PDF format also is part of the training. Is that correct? So it's a combination of the prompts and all the data in PDFs you download to it. And that's
right.
training.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the prompts are all about how you interact with the AI program, and that really will determine your results you get from it, right?
Yeah. Prompts are, this book is about prompts. It's training LLM models. I mean, you can go as deep as you want on this. It gets pretty sophisticated.
Fascinating stuff. As I said before, it's a game changer. A lot is gonna change over the next year or 2 or 3 with AI.
It's changing daily. I mean, from here, I mean, it's only going to get one, it's going to get more powerful. 2, it's going to get easier to use because they're building interfaces for people to work with the information. But it's super powerful. You just have to know how to use it and when to use it, and just always check your results. You don't want anything to go out the door.
What's mind-blowing with the process, Chris, is when we were initially going through it, you know, I kind of had my expectations, and then you're like, well, no, we're not done yet. And then next thing I know, we're diving into the psyche of the fleet manager or the psyche of the customer, and what they're going through at home and their home life and the work life. And I was not expecting that deep of a dive.
Yeah, that's what it takes. You realize what a really good copywriter, a world-class copywriter goes through before they create the copy. This is the process they go through. This is why they get such good results, because you don't just guess what you think your customer is going to want. I was at a seminar by Frank Kern, who's a very famous world famous copywriter, and he said, I described my customer avatar from stage, and I named him Doug or something like that. I can't remember what he named him. And he said at the break, this guy came up and he said, "Hi, I'm Doug." And his name was what he named his avatar. He was wearing everything that he said he was wearing. He's like, yeah, he wears a windbreaker, he wears khakis, he wears, he wears Dockers and his shoes. I mean, he described him, and the guy, he was a good sport about it. He laughed. He goes, "I am that guy." So world-class copywriters understand that they really have to understand who they're speaking to in order to get their messages heard.
Off here, guys. Chris, thank you. That was awesome as always.
Glad you're here, Eddie. Take care.
Good to see everybody again. Nick, let's circle back. Let's connect here soon too.
Yeah, next week will be good for me. So let me know the time that works for you. That would be awesome.
All right.
And this AI stuff we need to keep discussing in the group here and see where we're going with this and the results. We can compare notes here on our weekly calls. So that will be good.
Yeah. And please, if there's anything that you want to see, any problems that you're having you think might be addressed by AI in your shop, let me know. I love working on this stuff, and we can maybe get some more of these GPTs uploaded that'll help you out.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Cool.
This was an awesome presentation. Looking forward to continue exploring AI.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Brian. I'll get you a link to your avatar.
You got to appreciate that.
And I'll get the AI transcript of the call here to you as well, Chris. You can edit it.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
Let's see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.